There we go, all good.
Welcome back, everyone, to PS Vitesse. It's good to have you all with us here today at the Circuit Paul Ricard. We are here in PS Vitesse once again, and this time we're here for the F4 Championship race in Season 5. We're here for Round 7 of this season. Good to have you all with us. Subscribe to the PS Vitesse channel if we want to see more PS Vitesse content. Like this video if you're enjoying the commentary so far, and let's get into the French Grand Prix here at PS Vitesse. So this circuit, which is located in Le Castellet, France, is located on the south side of France as well. It's also 186 kilometers away from another famous circuit, the Circuit de Monaco. The circuit distance is 6.842 kilometers. That's 3.630 miles long. There's 15 turns and 2 DRS zones to help encourage overtaking for around here. One down the pit straight, in between turn 15 and turn 1. That's a good place to make an overtake, but it's quite difficult to make I'd say an easy overtake into the first 2 turns since it's very narrow. But the best place to make overtake for around here is in between that back straight DRS zone, in between turn 7 and turn 8. That's going to be a great place for watching overtakes at that section. So with the details aside for the Grand Prix, let's get into the PS Vitesse race here today. In the comms booth, it's myself, Formula Jonah, and joining us once again is Headshotless. Welcome back, Headshot, to the French Grand Prix commentary, and welcome back to PS Vitesse for another event here today. What's your thoughts on this track? What's your thoughts on the Grand Prix that's about to get underway here at PS Vitesse?
I think everyone's going to be looking forward to this race here. A high-speed, challenging circuit for the drivers. We're going to see a lot of overtakes on the back straight into the chicane, challenging the drivers. We're going to see strategy calls. The reverse strat might be the best around here, I think. So it's going to be a nice race for strategy.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be, and this is one of the tracks that a lot of drivers will know that it is very difficult to run with the tire degradation, you know, so these softs are not the best tires to take around here, but it doesn't mean they're the worst tires. It just means that they're not very good compared to other circuits like Austria or Brazil or even the Silverstone circuit in Britain. So yeah, we'll see how it all works out. And as you said, strategy is key for around here, and strategy is going to be fun to watch out for as well. I gotta say as well, this circuit, a lot of people do say it doesn't have too much action on track, but I have seen some great races back here in the virtual world. I've been commentating on the Paul Ricard circuit quite recently, and I've been seeing a lot of action on track, a lot of great overtaking, a lot of action when it comes to the rain and the safety car mixing up the order as well. It could be a very good race here today in France.
Yeah, it should be, I think. Compared to real life, we see on the virtual track here that there's a lot more action on track rather than real life. We don't really see much on track action nowadays, but the last real life race was amazing around here.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, we had that nice little battle between Red Bull and Mercedes, particularly Verstappen and Hamilton, where Verstappen made a last, I think it was a lap 52 out of lap 54, something like that, like a 2 laps remaining pass on the race leader that got him to win that race.
Yeah, it was a lovely move by Verstappen. He got the strategy correct, and I think...
Yeah, I mean, like, he definitely did get that strategy correct, and who knows, maybe we'll see a similar situation with some of these drivers here today in PS Vitesse. Let's quickly talk about these drivers. Who are you thinking is going to be fastest here today? Big Boy Juin has the quickest time at this time, a 1:29.789 set by the Alpine driver, a home team as well, so he'll be looking to put on a good performance for the French crowd with the home team. But what's your thoughts on all these drivers? Who do you think is going to be maybe quickest here today in our qualifying session going in to the Grand Prix?
Personally, I think we're probably going to see that time with Big Boy Juin. Maybe he can go faster there. I think Big Boy Juin will probably be pole position with Carrotfinger, the championship leader, closely following behind him. But Big Boy Juin wants sweet revenge after what happened last week at Baku, where he crashed just about 50 meters in front of the finish line. It was a disaster.
Yeah, and I mean, we thought that was on purpose, because, you know, it looked like he was just going straight there, but that was completely on accident, and it was such a devastation after we kind of realized that, and I was just like, no, because he was there, he was second place, he was in the fight for the podium there, and for the race win as well, after I think it was Carrotfinger that overtook him on the final way down to the finishing line on that final lap. It was quite an entertaining end to the race, I would say. Not entertaining for these drivers, and particularly Big Boy Jun. And as you said, hopefully he'll be able to get a good result here today and come back from that and get some redemption.
Definitely. That's what we want. We want to see Big Boy Jun closing down that championship lead on Carrotfinger to make it the most interesting championship result as possible, leading towards the end races.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the standings is getting quite interesting. We're already into round 7, and it's getting really, really tight up at the front. I mean, we've got some really quick drivers in F4, and it's a very quick tier, of course. I think another driver to keep an eye on is Key as well, and that McLaren sitting second. He is quite some ways behind Carrotfinger, but it's possible he can come back out of this one and come through the field as well. And then we got those two Alpines of course, Reflection and Big Boy Jun sitting third and fourth. So watch out for the two Alpines. If Big Boy Jun can get up there, he could possibly jump up into second place if Key and Reflection don't score some points.
I think we've got to watch out for the people who are qualifying outside of the top 10 here. They might have, if whoever starts 11th, might have an effective strategy pole position with that free tire choice and fresh tire.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, yeah, if we start, whoever starts P11 or pretty much down, that's going to really benefit them. And we've been talking about strategy quite a bit, and we mentioned that the softs are not the best tire for around here. They degrade pretty quickly. And if you start in like a medium or a hard, do you think that could be a good strategy going forward?
Definitely. The mediums is what you want to be starting on. Is what I think the people outside of the top 10 would actually be starting on.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I think that's exactly what it's going to be, is drivers trying to qualify on the medium tires. At this time, pretty much everyone's on the softs, and if this is the case as well, if everyone qualifies in the softs, they'll all be struggling with tire wear, so really won't benefit too many people when it comes to that, but I'm assuming a few people will probably be going on the mediums, and as you said, whoever qualifies 11th and below will have a free choice of tires, and will most likely go for that medium compound tires. As it stands, Luke 2 Red, who's out of the session, he sits P11, and I know he just retired from the session, but he could still get a really, really good result here today if he starts P11, maybe on the medium tire as well. But we still got Bevestier and Reflection as well. They're still in the pit lane and yet to set a quicker lap time.
Yeah, definitely. The people on the softs are possibly going to be running a hard tire, because the mediums will not last however long, probably around from lap 5. I think they're going to pit on softs.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise,
I think
they'll be struggling with tire wear, yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, like, the softs do not last around here. And you said typically they last for around lap 5, lap 6. Is that probably where the driver's going to pit as well?
Yeah, the soft runners are going to hope for a safety car, surely, to help them.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like, if these drivers do have the safety car around lap 5, 6, 7, around there, that could really benefit someone and get them up there and allow all the drivers that qualify on the softs to go down and or go into the pit lane and pit onto a fresh new set of tires as we got Worried Cloud spinning off at turn 2. What happened to the Ferrari drivers? Just spinning off maybe at the second turn?
I think he hit maybe one of the curbs and that sent him into a spin. He lost it.
Yeah, it looks like he did do the exact same thing as you just mentioned. So, yeah, unfortunate, of course, but it looks like he doesn't have any damage. May have a little bit of tire wear on his tires that will affect his overall final lap when he sets that lap. So it might get a little bit difficult for Worried Cloud into those tight, twisty turns that... so we have the Aston Martins of Leslie the Twig going off there. I wonder if he was leaving a car by, or if that was a spin as well. A second turn, maybe claiming a few driver and having them spin out.
I think we're going to be seeing that in the race as well. That vicious turn 2 is going to throw off the drivers quite a bit. It's a nasty corner to drive on this game.
Yeah, that corner is really, really difficult. And as you said, I think I have to agree with that. Turn 2 is definitely going to be a corner that drivers are going to have to be careful around and catch out a few drivers if they're not being too careful. Let's take it on board with Disco Stew as he's in second place right now as he comes through the first turn and the second turn. That's exactly the curve. He almost loses the car there like his teammate, but thankfully he saved it. It might lose him a 10th though. As he comes through the chicane of 3 and 4, good turning there for Disco Stew as we come through the triple right-hander. 5 and 6 this is. You want to maybe just dab the brakes a little bit into 6. Now into 7 we go as Worried Cloud is out of the race. He is going to be retiring in the pit lane. Down the straight, you're going to see drivers going up to around 205 miles per hour. Depends, of course, on your exits out of turn 7. Into 8 and 9 we go. Get right on the curb to the right and then just clip that left side of the curb there, and then again with the exit of 9. Now we come through that long straight that comes back onto the previous straight that we were on, but of course there's no DRS down here. As we come through the fast turn 10 as Lewis just went a 130.0, getting up into second place for the Mercedes driver. You see any other drivers improving on their times?
I'm going to view that now, in fact. Catboy Key might be able to get a good lap in here. I think he's on a lap.
Oh, yeah, keep an eye on him. So, yeah, he could be up there as well. We'll see what lap time he can bring. I mean, he could be very quick. Let's see how that all works out. But Disco Stew is the first driver of these pack right here to come across the line. Disco grabs P2 by just 200ths of a second. Anyone else on their fastest lap? I think Big Boy June is backed off. So the McLaren of Key is next to come across the line. Let's see if he can improve. Yes, he does. It goes on to provisional pole position. A 129.6. He has beaten Big Boy June's time. Big Boy June will not be qualifying on pole. What about Inoshia Kai as he comes to the line now? He's not going to be improving. Ender now to the line, stays P9. The only other driver out there that could be improving his time is Bevessier, but no, he's gotten invalidation, so the McLaren driver will start P12 at best. So McLaren's Key is going to start on pole position. The driver that is second in the championship starts on pole for the French Grand Prix.
What a lap from Key. He pulled that out of the back there, literally out of nowhere. Effectively, that lap was. What a lap. Big Boy June, 500 behind. He'll be very disappointed not to take pole here.
Yeah, he will. You know, I mean, like, Alpine, French team, of course, wanting to take that pole. He does take second. He is going to be on the front row alongside his rival. So it will be a fight down to turn 1, but I think you're correct. I think he's going to be a little bit disappointed with starting P2 as he could have had P1 there, and just by the smallest of gap ever to Key. Also, congrats to Disco Stew and Leslie the Twig as well. The two Aston Martins qualifying pretty high. Disco in P3, Twig down in P6. So the two Aston Martins could be getting a good result here today and trying to improve their position in the constructor standings as well.
Lovely lap from Stu. Seeing as everyone in the Discord is a Disco Stu fan, everyone will be very happy to see that result for Stu. Let's hope he can take it into the race now.
Yeah, let's see. We'll see how it all works out. If these drivers, or particularly Stu as well, if he's able to come through the field, same with a few other drivers. I'm curious to see those drivers that are starting on whatever tire they choose from 11th down. Do you think they could be people to watch out for, maybe coming through the field and taking that alternate strategy that could affect their end result and get a good result, you know?
Definitely the people who are P11 and below are going to be just a needle in the haystack for the people at the top of because they're going to be possibly behind them when they pit. So a safety car could completely throw everything up there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing is that the first turn is so narrow that we could see a few incidents that could cause a safety car. And actually, now that we have that into our focus here, this is a good question. I want to ask you, if the safety car comes out on the first lap due to an incident possibly at turn 1, do you think it's the right call for maybe the drivers in the top 10 that are starting on the softs? Is it the right call for them to possibly pit during that early safety car if it does come out?
Definitely, you need to get rid of these softs as quick as possible. I remember a race around here, I had the same thing, like a safety car lap 1, I got rid of the softs, went straight for the hard, and I made it to the end. So these drivers, I think, will probably do the same.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting strategy, you know, and did it work out for you? Did you get a good position in that race?
Definitely, I came all the way from P17 to like P5 or P6, I think.
Oh, wow. So that could be something that a lot of drivers could choose. If the safety car does come out that early, you could pit onto the hards like you did in your race, and they might be able to get a good result here today. So keep an eye on that, viewers. Maybe a soft to hard strategy could be the option.
Definitely, I think the people on the softs are probably going to go for the hards, you know.
Yeah, even if the safety car doesn't come out, they're probably going to be forced to pit for the hards because the degradation is going to be too hard with those softs. I mean, you're going to have to make it to around lap 10 to be able to pit onto the mediums, and to be honest, that's just too long.
Too extreme for the guys.
Exactly. Yep, that's exactly what that is. So, we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. Anything can happen in this Grand Prix. But here's the rundown of the grid, viewers. Key, grab pole position, but just 5/100ths of a second off of Big Boy June, who is mighty close up at the front. And they share a grid on the first row of the grid for the French Grand Prix. Disco Stu is P3 alongside Lewis in the Mercedes car. Aston and Mercedes share a grid with Disco ahead of Lewis. Carrot Finger, the championship leader, starts 5th alongside Leslie the Twig in the second Aston Martin, sitting 6th. Vanesky's P7 alongside Word Cloud in the Ferrari, starting P8. Ender's P9 for Alfa Romeo in the 5th row of the grid alongside Inoshi Akai in that Red Bull, with Luke 2 Red starting in the hard compound tires alongside Bevessier with Reflection and Vantage rounding off the grid for Alpine and Red Bull respectively. But here we go, viewers. It's time for the PS Vitesse French Grand Prix for round 7 of the F4 Season 5 Championship race. It's time with the 5 red lights out. And away we go for racing here at PS Vitesse, and it looks like a pretty good start for the top 2 as they lead us away. Big Boy June trying to make a move on the McLaren. Oh, I'm getting a screen freeze right at the worst time.